When one of these things comes to your backyard, you can resist. And what that happens over millions of people is that you generate enough friction that they cannot go as fast as they want to go. Make sure that you are slowing down this system.
AOC's office advising migrants on how to avoid deportations. That was a live webinar. Trump border czar Tom Homan now issuing a warning to AOC.
Yes, you just heard that and saw that right. Our Congresswoman, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, is literally hosting webinars teaching illegal immigrants how to evade and avoid ICE deportation. That is insane. Now, people get caught up when VP Vance gave a speech in Munich this past week where he spoke about the enemy within. And when President Trump said it, they brought up all of these Hitler-esque type of things, when in reality it's the truth. When we have our own congressional members working against our deportation agency and against our government to help illegal immigrants, criminal illegal immigrants stay in this country. This is insane. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez should be voted out of office, if not even worse. But in this video, I'm going to lay out and show you clips and what's going on and what's on the line for Miss Cortez. She thought she was going to be able to do this little stunt and get away with it, but not so fast. As a matter of fact, she isn't the only Democrat fighting against deportation of these illegal immigrants. There are several of them doing more fighting on their behalf than they ever have for their constituents. And the Doge opening up the files should let you know that when we see all of the billions of dollars going out to different places around the world for transgenders and for illegal immigration. But yet, think about the people in your hometown, in your backyard. Don't matter if they white, black, young, or old. They make us fight over the little crumbs and over little issues that don't matter, when in truth, the people at the top of the spectrum are all different races, cultures, genders, and they're just pushing it down and sticking it to us. Luckily, we got President Trump in the White House. So check out this clip of congressional members fighting harder for illegal immigrants than they ever have for you and I. Check this out.
Start anticipating it and start having these discussions now. I personally don't want to have what happened last time when over a weekend I got, calls from a family in Lebanon who was ready to bring their little baby that they had adopted to the U.S. and were stopped practically at the airport with a little kid with a flag sweatshirt on. There are people that want to get to this point where we get this order at the border, where we put the funding into enforcement, into things like Border Patrol agents. Hopefully that can be at least a starting point for discussing it, even though it didn't go anywhere last year.
If you're enjoying this content so far, do me a solid, hit that like button. I'll never ask you for a cash app. I will never ask you for a super chat. But you hitting that like button, that is currency. It helps spread the video around. And on this channel, I share political and current events and then selling tips and techniques. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And when you do, hit the notification bell and select all. That way, you will be notified when I upload new videos.
Have the citizenship for dreamers, on doing something about the temporary status people, on looking at people who have not committed crimes and what we can do to make sure our workforce is strong. I think there is a path here, and I'm just continuing to focus on where we can go. And I would ask you.
Anybody ever wonder why they are so focused on this path for dreamers? When we have young dreamers right here in the United States, we have young children right here that are struggling. We have young children right here that dream big. Why are they so focused on illegal immigrant children, the dreamers? Because they believe they have a built-in voter base, just like the one that they've held for generations with the black community. But now, finally, black people are waking up, and realizing, hey, listen, this Stockholm syndrome crap has got to break. Democrat Party does not have our best interest. They don't have the best interest at heart for anybody except those that are in that elite circle. Some of those, not even all those congressional members that are fighting for this stuff, realize that they don't have a place at the table. This isn't about white or black. This isn't racism. It's classism. It's classism.
We had a bipartisan, comprehensive, immigration reform bill that addressed the issues of all of the immigrants who are working in various large sectors of our economy, i.e. in the ag sector, where the Chamber of Commerce are concerned about what we're doing with immigration policy, where we dealt with the undocumented immigrants who are working and paying taxes for which they get absolutely, they're paying the Social Security, Medicare. They don't get those benefits at all. So we have a broken immigration system. I don't know why we cannot come to some sort of an agreement to deal with the massive, complex issues that confront us. Pointing fingers at the Biden administration or any other administration is not going to get us for anywhere fast. The Trump policy of separating thousands of children from their parents without keeping track of who they're.
Now, it's funny how she says that she didn't agree with the Trump administration separating children from their families, even though it's already been debunked that started under Barack Obama. And just like AOC was doing those crying about kids in cages, you haven't seen her do that again, especially when she found out that those pictures that she was looking at and those cages that were there, they were built by Obama, Biden, not by Trump. And now we got this woman who, whenever she speaks, I always wonder, how was she even elected a senator? She wants to grandstand, and like the Democrats always do, got to show that they're against Trump or something. Well, under the Biden administration, more than 500,000 children are lost. Nobody knows where they are, but she's not shedding a tear about that. These folks make me sick. She's so concerned about people, even though illegal immigrants are dying on their way here because they were promised a free meal ticket. And now all of a sudden we have military. So we have people in our military that are trained to go and fight against our enemies, foreign and domestic. But now you're concerned of whether they can handle deporting some criminals, deporting gang members. The gaslighting from these people is insane. These people, they just want more money to process more illegal immigrants, to get this asylum thing going on so they can have their built-in voter base right here in America, which is what they were hoping for the 2024 election. But we spoiled that for them, didn't we? Now that you've heard how some of these congressional members go into these hearings and how they literally whine and cry for the illegal immigrants, now let's check out a clip where somebody is actually stepping up and fighting for the American people. And that person's name is Tom Homan. Check out Tom Homan's clip. And as he gives his thoughts on what Ms. Ocasio-Cortez giving webinars, teaching illegal immigrants how to evade and avoid ICE deportation. Let's get his take on what he thinks about that. Check this out.
Joining me now is Border Czar Tom Homan. Tom, it's great to have you. Thank you so much for being here. The arrests are up, and yet you still get pushback from the sanctuary cities. How significant is that pushback, and is it stopping you from doing your job?
Oh, it's absolutely not going to stop us. I mean, it makes our job more difficult, makes the job more dangerous. I mean, the numbers, as you said, we're more than twice the numbers as Joe Biden had a year ago from today, and the vast majority being public safety threats. But am I happy? No, I want more, because we had, last count, we had over 600,000 illegal aliens with criminal convictions walking the streets of this country. So we got a lot of them to find. But sanctuary city makes it difficult. What's most concerning, though, it makes it more dangerous. When we can arrest a bad guy in a county jail, if one officer arrests one guy in the safety and security of a county jail or a state prison. But when these sanctuary cities release a public safety threat back into the public, which on its face is just ridiculous, it's more dangerous for the ICE officers to make that arrest. It's more dangerous for the alien, and it's certainly more dangerous for the communities. Releasing a public safety threat back in the community is just dumb, and it puts the communities at great risk of more crime. So we want to work with the sanctuary cities and get into the jail. Give us access to the guy that you locked in a jail cell. That's who we want to talk to.
Well, I mean, look, you've got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez doing webinars to explain to illegal immigrants how to evade ICE arrests. And then she tweeted out after something you said maybe she's going to be in trouble now. And she says maybe he can learn to read the Constitution would be a good place to start. She's continuing her resist efforts against your efforts, Tom.
Look, I forgot more about the Constitution, immigration enforcement as you ever know. I mean, I had to educate her during congressional testimony that entering the country illegally is a crime. So whatever. But what she needs to do is read the statutes enacted by Congress. Title 8, United States Code 1324, United States. Title 8 United States Code 1324 and 25. That's what she needs to read, because it's illegal to enter this country. It's a crime to enter this country illegally. Not only that, when you harbor and conceal and impede law enforcement, that's a felony. So what she's doing, she says she's, educating them as to the constitutional rights. And we all know they got constitutional rights, but what she's really doing, you and I and the rest of the country knows, she's trying to teach them how to evade law enforcement. Now, I just said, well, out of the gate, we're concentrating on public safety threats, national security threats. So she's educating those in the country illegally with a significant criminal conviction, public safety threat. Don't open your door. Don't dot the I's. Here's how you invade law enforcement. Let's hope she's not educating the next person who gets out and murders a young college student in Georgia. I mean, these are bad people we're looking for. So she can call it education all she wants, but we all know it's about evading law enforcement. These people have been ordered removed. The people we're looking for right now have final orders. They're criminals. They're in the country illegally. A judge has ordered them removed. They become a fugitive. Then these are the folks she's helping. So I've asked the Department of Justice to look at this. Where is the line on impediment? Where does that fine line so we can instruct ICE officers what they can do when people don't open the doors or try to evade their arrest? So I simply asked DOJ, give me a legal opinion, because every Department of Justice will interpret things differently. What is the legal opinion on impediment? And we'll see what happens.
Now, what's sad is that our border czar has to fight with our congressional members to remove an illegal immigrant from our country that has a criminal record, not just a criminal record, maybe potential taking people's lives or sexually assaulting people on their record, not once, but multiple times. And our congressional members that were voted in by the American citizens, whose salary is paid for by the American citizen, is fighting against what we the people voted for. And just one more kicker for you. Check out the Illinois governor, J.B. Pritzker, what he said about him fighting against the Trump administration and deportation. Check this out.
Let's start with the new Trump administration and people in his administration. They haven't called us.
As a sharp critic of President Donald Trump, Governor J.B. Pritzker has made it clear Illinois laws prevent law enforcement from assisting ICE agents in carrying out deportations.
What about those police agencies that might help ICE? Would they face some kind of violation of state law?
Yeah, they better not break the law. These are law enforcement officers. They shouldn't break the law. We will go after them.
Pritzker makes this exception.
They are coordinating on violent criminals who've been convicted, who are undocumented. As far as I'm concerned, we need to give them over to ICE, and they should be deported.
Our one-on-one interview just 24 hours after Trump's swearing in. Pritzker says Elon Musk should apologize for this gesture. Pritzker compares it to a Nazi salute.
The ADL does not see it as a Nazi salute.
Well, anybody that watches that video saw him do it not once, but twice. And even if it was inadvertent, it's a clear, symbol and gesture that everybody knows.
As for the governor's relationship with Mayor Brandon Johnson, Pritzker is not holding back. He's unhappy the mayor worked behind the scenes to kill legislation the governor supported that put in place strict guidelines on hemp products available to children.
I've told the mayor that he mishandled it, that whenever you're going to come to my house, come to Springfield, and you want to lobby against a piece of legislation, which, by the way, was the wrong position to take.
Pritzker is more openly critical of the mayor than ever before.
I didn't do that when the mayor was trying to pass a budget for the city of Chicago, which I didn't think was the right budget. I didn't like many of the provisions, but I didn't go lobby the members of the city council against the mayor.
The governor did receive a birthday call recently from the mayor, so they are talking. But Pritzker made it clear on those ICE deportations, Pritzker is not relying on the mayor necessarily. As he puts it, he says he's talking directly to Chicago as well as Illinois State Police.
Well, you know what? If he was actually talking to Illinois State Police, or talking to the people, even more important, of the state of Illinois, he would realize that the people of Illinois resoundingly agree with deporting illegal immigrants out of that country. But as you can see, these folks are just insane. So I just want to take some time out to share with you what type of pushback President Trump is getting from our own congressional members, our own leadership in government here in the United States are fighting more for illegal immigrants than they are for American citizens. And that's from governors, congressional members, heck, even our own president Joe Biden was fighting more for illegal immigrants than he was. He did more for illegal immigrants during his 4 years than he did at all for the American people. And that is sad. And I'm so glad we got it turned around. And right now, we just got to stay vigilant against the onslaught of the fake news media attacks on President Trump, trying to split up the support that he's getting from the American public. That old media trick of throwing out BS propaganda lies, we're onto it. We're onto it. We see it. Nobody believes you. You need more people. All right. But other than that, hey, listen, I appreciate you watching again. I'm Brian Maxwell saying thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.